Our last research presentation of the day is on the Quincy Riverfront expansion. Our presenters are Paula Martinez and Daniel Sanchez. Their mentor is Jennifer Breeden. I will turn it over to you guys.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to present you the Quincy Riverfront project. I'm Paula Martinez, and I'm here with my partner, Daniel Sanchez. So first of all, we want to introduce ourselves. I'm Paula Martinez. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I'm a junior here at QU. I'm doing a double major in marketing and management, and I'm also part of the tennis team.
And my name is Daniel Sanchez. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I play tennis here as well, and I'm also majoring in marketing and management. And I've been here for 4 years, so I'm a senior, and I've been able to be in Quincy for all 4. So the first question we're going to answer is, why are we here? So we're both enrolled in market research with our mentor, Professor Breeden, and we came up with this idea for a class project, and it's just a project about the Quincy Riverfront and all of the potential that it holds.
Before we start talking about everything, we want to thank you, our mentor, Professor Breeden. Thank you for helping us. First of all, we wanted to explain you what is the riverfront. The riverfront is an area where it has about 12 acres and is located in the west of Quincy, all the way from the American Park in the north to the Kentucky Street in the south, as well from the east side of 4th Street in the east to the Mississippi River. This area is mainly used as a passive park, so the visitors take advantage to gather here to enjoy the views of the river and to enjoy small or mid-sized events. This location has a steep topography between the river and the city, and limitates sometimes the accessibility and create a riverfront region a little bit disappear from the city. This park is susceptible to seasonal flooding, and we think it's a little bit sketchy.
So the first thing we're going to do is talk about what exactly market research is. And so the core definition is simply the process of gathering and interpreting data for use in developing, implementing, and monitoring a firm's marketing plan. And so step 1 in market research is to specify what information is needed. Step 2 would be to gather the relevant data from internal and external sources. Step 3 would be to analyze and interpret that data. And then step 4, to communicate the results to the appropriate audience.
To gain our ideas and to define the problem, we decide to use an exploratory research in which we use literal search there where we find some information to come up with our problem, such as articles, newspapers, some online sources. And with this we get our external data, and we also get some internal data by using the data mining, which are the technology analytics tools that we used for our project.
So now for the problem. The problem is simply that the riverfront is not being used to the full potential that it holds. It's the first thing that you see whenever you cross the bridge to enter Quincy from the Missouri side, and we believe that it should be an attraction. It should stand out to people visiting Quincy. They should cross that bridge and they should see something that stands out to them. And the third is that it can attract tourism, and it could have a positive economic impact on Quincy.
As we said before, we use a literal search, and we find online that Quincy is doing a Quincy Riverfront Master Plan. They are developing this, and they are proposing a riverfront that would include new attractions or improve the current infrastructures that this area has, with giving new life to Quincy and the Adams County, to the most precious assets that this area has, that is the riverfront. The objectives for this project are to determine some destination, provide full control measurements, offer a unique experience, increase access to the riverside, provide event spaces, would include all the people from Adams County and Quincy to build a community who are going to adapt the plan.
So this is a blueprint layout of the Quincy master plan. And as you can see in section A, there's a parking lot right next to section A. In section D, there's a play area, a little fountain right here in section E, and even a boardwalk on section I. And there is a garden in section F and even a river walk over here and garden also in section G. And then section P right here holds flood protection measures.
The Adams County, the Quincy Park District, and the City of Quincy approved an intergovernmental agreement in December of 2019 to create the master plan for the Riverfront. The Riverfront Steering Committee was formed with 9 members representing these entities and the greater public interest. The Adams County and the City of Quincy are financially supporting the plan, with some private donors.
So this is a survey that the City of Quincy actually conducted, and this survey was conducted in August of 2020, and it generated 740 responses, and this focused on the current perception of the riverfront. So as you can see in the first top left corner, the question is, how frequently do you visit the riverfront? And 37% of people responded a few times a year. 29% of people said once a month. 31% of people said 1 or more times a week. And 2% of people responded with never. The next question stated overall impression of the Quincy Riverfront today. And the responses, 8% were very negative, 24% slightly negative, 26% neutral, and 33% slightly positive, and 8% were very positive. The next question is a word/phrase that best describes the riverfront today. 33% of people responded with "it's just simply there." 16% of people stated there was a problem/challenge, and 51% of people actually said there was amenity/opportunity. The next question follows as, how accessible should the riverfront be today? 46% of people said part of the riverfront should always be accessible and protected from flooding. 48% of people stated that it is okay for the riverfront to be closed a few weeks out of the year. And 7% of people said it is okay for the riverfront to be closed for several months out of the year. The next question is, why do you go to the riverfront today? And the few responses that were the most popular were recreational opportunities, restaurants and picnics, views of the river, water or boat access, nature or access to nature, annual events, and even shelter.
The second survey that the Quincy Riverfront Master Plan did, it was conducted in September of 2021. They received around 1,200 responses, and the responses were asked to rate a series of similar events that varied in cost and scale of activities that they could do at this area. They were asked about some activities that they would like to do in this area. Some people say that they would like to have dining, they would like to have river experiences, free attractions, gathering, bike connectivities with the downtown, boating or river recreations, and nature or ecotourism. Another thing that they were asked if were some activities that they could do as boating or river recreation. People said that they would like to see kayak, river boats, tour boats, or slips. Some activities that they would like to see as an icons on landmarks were pedestrian ramp, sculptures, ferry wheels, or signals. And some dining activities that they would like to see were restaurants, picnic, hot food trucks, food kiosks, and beverage venue. We can do like a survey by using Google Docs, and we received around 100 responses. we used a highly structured questionnaire where everyone received the same questions and every respondent has the same answers, and they will have to choose the best answer that they will think. We used fixed alternative questions that are also common known as multiple choice questions. We use these ones because this is common to collect primary data, that was the data that we were looking for. And we did, as I said before, an online survey. We distribute this survey, sending emails or by our social media. The most predominant age group were from 18 years old to 24 years old, and from 55 to 64 years.
So one of the questions that was in our surveys was, how many times do you eat out per week? And as you can see, we generated that 68.5% of people said 1 to 2 days, and 21.7% of people said 3 to 4 days. Another question was, what are some weekend evening activities that you enjoy? And the top 3 responses for this question was eat at a sit-down restaurant, listen to live music at a local venue, and outdoor activities such as walking, riding a bike, etc.
The next questions that we asked, it was, what do you think the Riverfront is missing something? And we get around 90% of our responses that they say yes. So people know that the Riverfront area is missing something.
The next question was, are you attracted to the area by the river in its current state? And this response was a bit of a shock to us, but it was also good to see that this is what people think. It shows that 43.5% of people are attracted to the river in its current state, while 56.5% of people are not.
Another question that we asked will you feel attracted to innovative bars, restaurants by the river? And around 94% of the people say yes. So people are willing to see new restaurants, new bars, or new activities around the river.
So with those questions being said, to conclude the survey, we concluded that people in Quincy do like to go out to eat. They enjoy evening activities, especially if they could be developed by the riverfront, and that there is something that is missing by the river. While 44% of people are attracted to the river in its current state, 90% of the people did think that something was missing. And with all this information, we conclude that the riverfront had more to offer, then people would be more drawn and fascinated by this area.
So now up, we come with some solutions. We think that the Riverfront area, it's an area where people could gather, or even though it could be a commercial zone. This, as we said before, the Riverfront is not being used as the best potential. So the need is that the Riverfront needs to be used as its best potential. There is a lack of connection between the Riverfront and the downtown, so which would encourage to enroll the community. We know that there are hidden or future activities that could be occurring in this area.
As well as that new restaurants or bars could actually use the research that we have found today to sell or to start up their own product or service, and as well as the current businesses that are by the riverfront can actually look at this data that we've collected and help implement it into their daily use.
We also come up for a solution that, as we said, the Adams County and the city of Quincy are doing. So these politicians can use this pool of data to continue, and they know that this project will be success in the future.
And this project will not only contribute to the economy and tourism of Quincy, but it could potentialize the weekend, evening events done by the community and by tourists.
And we wanted to come again to this question because in the future we want to ask again this question, and we want to change these answers so that people are really attracted to this area in the future, because this area has a lot of opportunities, and these opportunities will have positive impact in the community, health, resident place, and the ability of Quincy and Adams County to attract visitors and new residents that will grow through the economic growth.
And we just wanted to leave you guys with a quote that we found. Overall, the city is missing a great potential opportunity by not developing the riverfront area. This should be a major draw to both residents and visitors to the city. And that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, we're ready for you guys. Good job.
Did you explore any interesting demographics of the people who responded to your survey? Was it potentially, for example, was it young people of a particular age, or were they citizens of Quincy or visitors or whatever?
Yes, so we actually did. We conducted, the first question was actually age, and then we asked how close you lived to the riverfront area. And we found that most of our people didn't live within walking distance. We also did of the square of Washington Square. Most people didn't live within walking distance, but they lived in the city of Quincy. So the survey was for people of Quincy.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Thank you guys very much for having us today.
Thank you, Paula and Daniel. This concludes the second day of our academic symposium. We appreciate your attendance. Tomorrow we will begin at 1:30 p.m. and hear from presenters Philippe Santana, Sarah Nelson, Delaney Lance, Ronnie Maynor, Nathan Lawton, Sarah Wilson, and Sydney Johnston. We hope you can join us.